executive orders from Biden, and the new plan out of Congress. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, huge surprise, but Congress has changed the plan yet again on the upcoming reconciliation bill. Now remember, this is the reconciliation bill that they want to get done within the next 3 weeks. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments section. Do you think Congress is going to pull it off, or do you think Congress is going to buzz right on by their timeline just like they always do and not get it passed by the deadline? I'd love to hear your comments down below. Do you think they're going to do it, or do you think they're going to pass it right on by? Anyway, I'll be reading through those comments down below. However, I do want to get into the details and discuss what President Biden is now talking about in regards to executive orders, and I also want to talk about what Congress is now doing with their new plan and the reconciliation bill. So let's get into it and discuss all those details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video. Things are very, very busy right now, and as the end of the fiscal year rapidly approaches, as well as the midterm elections in just a few months from now, things are going to be getting very, very busy going forward, especially with the president and, of course, Congress and everything they're trying to get done before the end of the fiscal year in just a couple months from now. So make sure to subscribe down below so I can keep you posted with everything going on right now when it comes down to the administration, the president, Congress, new bills, piece of legislation, money, benefits, programs, checks, or anything else that may be popping up right now. I want to help you out in any way that I possibly can by pointing out all this stuff, as well as doing all the research and bringing you the latest updates right here in these videos. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and discuss what is Congress up to these days besides a whole lot of nothing, right? Let's just be real with ourselves. A whole lot of nothing is probably the best explanation. But anyway, they actually are doing a few things, so let's talk through what they are actually doing. All right, so the original reconciliation bill that was originally announced about 2.5 weeks ago did come out with a few different provisions within the bill. Now remember, about 2 months ago or so, there was some leaked information that came out saying that Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin were actually talking behind closed doors and negotiating out all the details of this next reconciliation bill. Well, it was not officially announced at that time. However, about 2.5 weeks or so ago, they came out and actually officially announced that they had this package put together. It's about a $1 trillion reconciliation bill. That's what it was at the time. But guess what? Things have changed in a really big way. Again, are we surprised? Not really. We see this stuff happen all the time. This is why we can't really get our hopes up for anything, or we can't really follow it all that closely, because things change a lot as it works its way through the congressional process, right, of trying to pass these bills through. But anyway, they are still working on a reconciliation bill, but here's the thing. The 3 major provisions within this bill originally, when they introduced it a couple weeks ago, is number 1, they wanted to allow Medicare to start negotiating out the prices of all of these pharmacy prescription items with pharmaceutical makers so that they could lower prices. That was one of the major provisions. They also had a bunch of climate funding in there. Now again, I don't really know the details as far as all the climate. I just know that there was a lot of money allocated in there for climate funding to save the environment, or whatever they do with it, you know what I mean? I don't know all the details on it. I just know that there was a lot for climate. And then another thing they wanted to do as well was raise taxes on corporations and wealthy Americans. These were the 3 major provisions in there. And of course, there was a lot more in there as well, considering it was $1 trillion. There's a lot of money to go around, right? Well, here's the deal. As of recently, the whole plan has kind of fallen apart. So here's what we've got now. So the current provisions within the reconciliation bill is only the Medicare provisions, right? So allowing Medicare to negotiate for pharmacy prices for these pharmaceuticals with these pharmaceutical makers. That's the only thing in the reconciliation bill, the major provision. Now, don't get me wrong. There's probably a bunch of other smaller ones in there, but that is the major one that they are currently working on. So, kind of interesting, right? Now, you might be wondering, what about the climate and what about the tax increases on corporations and high-income Americans? I can tell you this much. The tax increases for corporations and high-income Americans, it's gone. It's not happening anymore. So, that one is out of there. They basically threw it out and said, it's not happening. It does not have the necessary support, so they threw it out. Gone. However, when it comes down to climate, guess what they're going to do on that one? The president has already come out and vowed that if Congress cannot give him the climate funding that he wants, he's going to do it through executive order. Now, again, what else are these executive orders going to entail, and what are they possibly going to include? Well, that's anybody's guess at this point, but the president has indicated he will be working through with these executive orders and getting the climate funding that is necessary. So it's kind of interesting to watch all this whole thing play out. And again, we'll have to see what is actually included in these executive orders, and does he actually follow through with what he's been saying, or is it just a threat saying, hey, Congress, get it done, otherwise I'm going to do it on my own through executive order. So again, we'll have to see what happens here going forward, but this is what he's actually said about it. So yeah, interesting. That's where the reconciliation bill is as of right now. But I want to throw this out there as well. They also have this opportunity to use reconciliation one more time between now and the end of the fiscal year. The end of the fiscal year is September 30th. That's it. When that calendar rolls over at the end of the day on September 30th into October 1st, it's the new calendar year. It's the new fiscal year, the 2023 fiscal year when it comes down to the federal government. So when they have this one opportunity to use reconciliation. This is like their one magic wild card that they have right now to use on virtually anything that they want. But here's the problem. Because inflation is so incredibly high right now, that last report that we just got out a few days ago, coming in at 9.1%, it's starting to scare away some of the senators. Some of the senators are saying there's no possible way we can inject $1 trillion more of spending into this economy. It's just going to throw gas on the fire. We cannot do that, right? So that's what some of these senators are coming out saying, which is why they're starting to pare down this bill quite a bit. Now, I did not see a price tag on the current bill as of right now. That has these Medicare provisions in there to actually allow them to start negotiating out these pharmacy prices with pharmaceutical makers. I'm not sure what all it's going to cost. I have no idea. I did not see any price tags on any of this thing. But at the end of the day, does it really matter at this point? You know what I mean? It's just like, are they really going to get something done here, or are they not going to? But I guess what it really comes down to is the president actually going to sign these executive orders, or is it, again, just a way to try to negotiate and play hardball with Congress to get something done? It's kind of interesting because here we are, and we're rapidly approaching the end of the fiscal year. Congress has been sitting on their hands all year. What have they done this year? Let me just throw that out there. What has Congress done so far this year? Have they done anything for you? I'm going to throw this out there. I haven't seen any kind of help. I haven't seen any kind of assistance. Have you? So let me know if you have down below, because am I missing something? I do a ton of research on this stuff, but maybe I'm overlooking something. I don't think so, but I don't know. Let me know down below. So my point is, are they doing something for all of us? Not really. Are they jacking up gas prices? Well, it's kind of a function of everything going on right now. We can't solely blame Congress for that. But again, there are prices going up on virtually everything because of this inflation. Gas prices, yes, have come down a little bit. In fact, they're down about 30, 35, maybe even 40 cents a gallon in some locations. Now, apparently some areas around the country right now are also posting 1 gallon of gas below $4 a gallon. So that's in some select locations around the country, but a lot of locations are still in the mid $4 range as of right now. But according to everything that I've been reading about this, a lot of analysts and experts that are watching this are saying don't get too excited too fast, because it's highly likely that oil prices are going to go right back up to about $130 to $150 per barrel sometime between now and the end of the year. So yeah, right? We'll have to continue watching that one going forward as well, because right now we are right in the middle of the driving season, right? So the driving season typically runs from, again, about Memorial Day until about Labor Day. That is kind of the unofficial driving season of the year, right? The summertime, everybody's out driving around the country, or at least people want to be, and then, burning up all kinds of gas and stuff like that. So demand is very high. So we'll have to see here what goes forward into the fall. Do we still see high demand for gas and consumption, demand, things like this, driving prices and keeping prices very strong? Or all of a sudden, do we see demand drop off quite a bit, which would ultimately bring a lot of more supply onto the market? Well, the supply would probably be the same, but ultimately, if demand dries up, that just means prices will go down because now there's more supply than there is demand. Therefore, prices must go down. So, anyway, again, there's a lot going on right now. And like I said earlier, it's only going to get more busy between now and the midterm elections and, of course, the end of the fiscal year as Congress tries to scramble to get something done to use up their one reconciliation opportunity before the end of the fiscal year. And again, we'll see if they can actually do it. They want to get this bill done within the next 3 weeks or so. By about the end of the first week of August, they want to get that reconciliation bill done. Like I've said before in other videos, I'm going to go ahead and say, good luck, Congress. I don't have any faith in them to get it done. The reason is we've seen this play out so many times over the last couple years here. We've been seeing this whole situation play out every single year, time and time again. They have this big, great bill that they want to get done right before they go on their summer recess, which starts the second week of August. And then all of a sudden they say, yeah, we're going to stay into our break. Don't worry, we're going to stay for a few extra days. And then sure enough, we turn our back and they're gone. They ran away, right? So they all go home. So we'll have to see what happens here this time, but I wouldn't be shocked one bit if it happens again. Either way, I want to give you a quick update on this reconciliation bill, what's going on with it, where we currently stand, the new plan out of Congress, and of course, the executive orders that President Biden is playing around with. So anyway, of course, as I do get more details, I'll be right here for you, breaking it all down, letting you know what's going on, and helping you out in any way that I possibly can. Also, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe down below. Go back and check out some of the other videos here on the channel. There's been some pretty good videos coming out here, a lot of really cool information, and that project where I'm sending stuff out to those of you in the community is still going very, very strong. Quick hint, watch your messages. I've been sending out a ton of messages lately, and virtually nobody's responding. So I'm trying to do my best here, but if nobody responds, I can't sit here and beg to give you stuff. So I'm just doing what I can, right? But the people that are responding, yeah, I'm sending you all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool, right? I am getting so many notifications every single day. My phone is like going nuts every single day. Notification, notification, package delivered, 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 delivered. So it's nuts, like all day, every day. I'm getting so many notifications of these packages being delivered. So super cool. It's pretty fun. Anyway, enjoy your day. Thanks again for watching this. Subscribe down below, share the video, go back and check out those other videos, leave a comment, and again, hopefully I can draw your name as well to get some cool stuff out to you. All right, thanks again. Enjoy, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.